Hello students, I am Dilip Singh, Assistant Professor in Political Science, Government Girls College, Jhalawad. I warmly welcome you in this lecture series. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the preamble to the Constitution of India. In that particular video, we discussed about the introduction and the significance of the preamble to the Constitution. In this lecture, we will discuss about the interpretations of our preamble. It is expected to each and every student of political science that he remember the preamble of the Constitution. So here we will recite the words of preamble. These are: we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent and Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. This was the preamble of the preamble to the Constitution of India, and as we see it, this is not the original one. It is the amended, and later, as we have discussed, that after 42nd amendment to the Constitution, three words were added to this preamble. These were socialist, secular, and the integrity. So here we will start the interpretation and the main characteristics of preamble. The very first word of the preamble, or we can say that preamble starts with words "We the people of India," and the last words of our preamble are "Do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution." It means the preamble clears three main things. First one is the ultimate sovereignty of India is vested in Indians. Second one, the Constituent Assembly was the representatives of Indian people who drafted the drafted and enacted the Constitution. And third thing is that this Constitution is the result of Indians, and this was dedicated to themselves. The 42nd Amendment to the Constitution, a new word, socialist, was inserted to the preamble. The socialist or socialism was a very disputable word, and when the preamble was drafted, it was also discussed that should we insert this word in the preamble, but that time the that particular word was not inserted. But in 1976, by the 42nd Amendment, it was thought that this word should be inserted to the preamble so that the direction of Indian constitution can be shown by the preamble. Word socialist is quite different as inserted in in the preamble of Indian Constitution. The Indian model of socialism emphasizes on equality according to the Indian circumstances. It doesn't mean that India, by the ins- uh, after inserting the word socialist, it was said that India has adopted a word very similar to communism, but it has been proved wrong because the socialism, according to the Indian circumstances, the second amendment to the constitution, another word was also inserted to the preamble. This word was secular. Secular means that the relationship between the government and religious groups are determined according to constitution and law. In Hindi, it is known as Panth Nirpekshta. It separates the power of the state and religion by the 42nd Amendment in 1976. The term secular was also incorporated in the preamble. There is no difference of religion like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity, and Islam are equally respected, and moreover, there is no state religion. All the citizens of India are allowed to profess, practice, and propagate their particular sect or religion. Explaining the meaning of secularism as adopted by India, Alexander Ovis has written secularism is a part of the basic structure of the Indian constitution and it means equal freedom and respect for all religions. Indian model, secularism is different from the Western one. Here we have not aloof neither from dharma nor from sects and religion. The secularism, according to the Indian model, means to provide equal opportunity to practice a particular religion. Democratic Republic is also a very significant characteristics of Indian Union. The people of India elect their government by a system of universal adult franchise, popularly known as one person, one vote. It means that India is declared a democratic state and the power is vested to the public who votes and elect their representatives who rule over them, and thus the motto of democracy is being characterized. The word Democratic refers not only to political democracy but also to social and economic democracy. There is also another word, republic, which is very much popular in the whole world, the the main systems, or you can say that in a republican form of government, the head of state is elected and not a hereditary monarch. Thus, this word denotes a government where no one holds public power as proprietary right, as opposed to a monarchy in which the head of state is appointed on a hereditary basis for life or at least until abdication. A democratic republic is an entity in which the head of state is elected directly or indirectly for a fixed tenure. Thus, India has a president who is elected and has a fixed term of office. There is an absence of any privileged class, and hence all public offices being opened to every citizen without any discrimination. The word justice looks like a legal word, but this word is very much related to the politics and political science. Justice stands for rule of law, absence of arbitrariness, and a system of equal rights, freedom, and opportunities for all in society. In Indian Constitution and especially in the preamble, three types of justice has been described. First one is social justice. Social justice means the absence of socially privileged classes in the society and no discrimination against any citizen on grounds of caste, creed, color, religion, gender, or place of birth. India stands for eliminating all forms of exploitations from the society. Second type of justice is economic justice. Economic justice means no discrimination between men and women on the basis of income, wealth, and economic status. It stands for equitable distribution of wealth, economic equalities, the end of monopolistic control over means of production and distribution, decentralization of economic resources, and the securing of adequate opportunities to all for earning their living. The third type of justice is described in preamble, that is called political justice. Political justice means equal, free, and fair opportunities to the people for participation in the political process. It stands for the grant of equal political rights to all the people without discrimination. The Constitution of India provides for a liberal democracy in which all the people have the right and freedom to participate. Another characteristic is also mentionable here, that is called liberty. The idea of liberty refers to the freedom on the activities of Indian nationals. This stabilizes that there are no unreasonable restrictions on Indian citizens in terms of what they think, their manner of expressions, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts and action. However, liberty does not mean freedom to do anything, and it must be exercised within the constitutional limits. In the preamble, five types of liberty has been provided to the people of India. These are thoughts, expression, belief, faith, and worship. To the in the preamble of Constitution, the word equality has been mentioned boldly. It means that two types of equalities are provided to the people of India. The first one is the equality of status. It means that no person is lower than any other person, and each and everyone enjoy its manship, and he has same right as his neighbor or his or any other person have. Second thing is also mentionable that the Indian preamble declares the equality of opportunity. It means that each and every person has the right to obtain a job or opportunity and according to his choice. So that's why the equality is also an important part of preamble. The word fraternity has been mentioned in the preamble. This refers to a feeling of brotherhood and a sense of belonging with the country among its people. It embraces psychological as well as territorial dimensions of national integration. It leaves no room for religionism, communalism, casteism, and etc. The preamble declares that fraternity has to assure two things: the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. The word integrity has been added to the preamble by the 42nd constitutional amendment. Now we have discussed about the main characteristics of Indian Constitution's preamble. Another issue that is highly disputable is that can the preamble be amended or not? In the Berubadi case, 1960, the amendability and the significance of the preamble came into force. An important and very interesting question was raised relating to the powers of the parliament to code Indian territory to a foreign country. As an interpretation of the Article 3, the Supreme Court had held that the power of Parliament to diminish the area of a state as guaranteed in Article 3 of the Constitution does not cover cession of the Indian territory to a foreign country. Hence, Indian territory can be ceded to a foreign country only by means of amendment of the Constitution under the Article 368. Consequently, the Ninth Constitutional Amendment Act 1960 was enacted to transfer the Berubadi Union to Bangladesh. So, that time it was East Pakistan. Supreme Court also held the view that preamble cannot be a part of the Constitution in this Berubadi presidential reference case. But later in 1973, in Keswanand Bharti case, the Supreme Court gave a comprehensive verdict. It said that preamble is part of the Constitution and is subject to the amending power of the Parliament as are any other provisions of the Constitution, provided the basic structure of the Constitution is not destroyed. It has been clarified now by the Supreme Court of India that being a part of the Constitution, the preamble can be subjected to constitutional amendment exercised under Article 368. However, the basic structure cannot be altered, therefore, it is considered as the heart and the soul of the Constitution. So, students, it was our discussion about the preamble to the Constitution of India. I hope you have you will enjoy it. So in next lecture we will be with you with a new topic. Till then, be alert, be safe. Thank you.